What's up, boo? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be ranking and doing somewhat of a declutter of my powders and my primers. It's early for me, so I've got some coffee here in my Baby Yoda cup. I have two of these. I'm pretty sure, not two of this exact cup, but two Baby Yoda cups, and I love them. I love Baby Yoda. That is like my thing. Oh my gosh, Mandalorian needs to come out with season 4 like tomorrow. But anyways, we're here for this, not Baby Yoda. So let me go ahead and get everything sorted out after I take a sip of my coffee. And if you are new here, the way that I do this is I actually divide it into 4 categories. One, or the first category, meaning save your money. 2, it's okay. 3, I really like it. And 4, holy grail. I don't rate it like 1 to 10. I feel like that is just too complicated because sometimes you like things for different reasons. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and get this all sorted out. I'm struggling with a couple of these because of color. So these three, let me move these closer together so that you can actually see what I'm talking about. So these three here are all color. This one by Laura Mercier, it just, every time I use this, I do notice that it changes my foundation, and I don't like that. Same with this one by One Size. This one is just too deep for me, and it, again, changes the foundation that I'm wearing. And so for that reason, unless it's like summer, and I'm like deep out in the sun, these ones don't really work. This one is also colored. It's entirely too white for me. So this one is one that's, no, like you can see it's leaving a cast. I am going to declutter these. There is a new setting powder that is on my list. The new Milk Makeup one. I've swatched it and it's like a perfect shade for me. The medium deep one, or no, the deep one I think it is an absolute perfect shade for me. So I am planning on picking that one up, but I'm going to get rid of these three because the colors of those are just not it for me. The Sephora collection one, this is okay. It's finicky. That's what I'm running into with this one, is that if I have more of a neutral undertone. And so if I'm using a neutral undertoned concealer, it will give a little bit of cast. If I'm using a yellow tone concealer, I have no issues with it. But it's just making sure that I'm using the right concealer with this. Otherwise, it sets really well. It does give a little bit of a blurring, and it just wears well throughout the day. I wouldn't say that it controls any of my oils, but it does add a nice highlighting effect that looks natural when I use it with the right concealer. So this one's okay. It's not bad for the price, and you do get a lot, I feel like, for it being a little bit more like drugstore priced. This one here is the Maybelline Fit Me. This one's also kind of a color thing, and so that's why it's in the, like, it's okay pile, but you can tell that it does have like a little bit of cast to it as well. It's really nice for the price. Again, it's a drugstore option. It does not control any of my oils whatsoever, which is one thing that I wish that it did, but for like more of the spring or winter, it does do really well with just kind of pulling everything together. I know that it's a finishing powder and not a setting powder, and there is a difference with those. Finishing powders are going to give more of a blurred look and kind of pull everything together, and so it's really good for that, but it is not good for necessarily setting. So I don't find myself actually reaching for this very much. I want to love it, like I want it to be in the other piles, but for me it's just not there. And so I think I may actually just declutter this because I don't really find myself reaching for it. This Black Radiance one, I've had this one for a good hot minute. I actually really like this one, but it's also another one that I just don't find that I reach for too often, which is a little weird. I don't know if it's because it's just like such a big container, and maybe I don't feel like I'm making much of an impact on it. I don't know. I mean, it's 0.7, so it's bigger than this one from the Sephora collection, but I don't know. I do like it. It does give a little bit of a change to my foundation. So like the color is a little bit off, and we don't really have a lot of places that sell the black radiance here where I'm at in Iowa, because again, we're not known for our black population in the section that I live in. So it's a little bit challenging, but I think I might get rid of this one as well. Yeah, I might just declutter this one because I'm not really like reaching for it. These two right here for me are really good. This first one is the Juvia's Place one. This is a yellow setting powder. This, I need to wipe my hand off. I'm running out of room here. It's really just a nice powder. It blends in really well. I'm putting it on heavy so that you guys can kind of see it. But it is one of the softer ones that I own. I wouldn't say it's the most soft, but it is really soft. It does create a nice highlighting effect, and it just works really well with my skin tone. This is one that I use with any and every concealer. It's not finicky. This is the shade Kalahari. They have another one that's deeper than this that I thought about getting for my full face, but I'm concerned that it's going to be a little bit red toned, and I don't want that, you know, because typically those deeper ones tend to be pretty deep, like this one. This Flower Beauty one is also a really nice one. I find that this one is more finely milled than the Juvia's Place one. Let's see here. It blends in really well. It changes the color of my foundation very, very slightly, which is why it's like, oh, it's really good, but I don't think that it's a holy grail, and I'm not quite sure that there's going to be like a better color for me. But I do really enjoy like using this. I feel like it helps to prolong my foundation throughout the day, and I can blot and not a lot of it will come off. So that's why these two are in my it's really good pile. I would recommend, I mean, if I had to pick one, I would recommend starting off with this line first and then going into this one. This one has more color options than the Juvia's Place does. I think this one has 5 or 6. This one only has 3. So that's that. I'm going to keep those ones for sure. And then these ones are holy grails for me. This one unfortunately is discontinued, but this is the Too Faced Peach Perfect. This one is fantastic. You got oily skin, this was the one to pick up. You may be able to still find it on like Poshmark or, you know, like places like that, but outside of that, you're not going to find it anywhere. This one just held my foundation and oils at bay so well. I got such long lasting capability out of my foundations, and it did help give a blurring effect. I love this one. I have not used it up because I don't want to. Like, once it's gone, it's like gone. Like, that's the thing, and that's what makes me so sad about it. This One Size Translucent. This is perfect for underneath my eyes. They do have the honey one, which I think is one I might try for like all over my face, because like I said, this one is just too dark. The dark deep one, it just, I noticed that there's a difference with my foundation, and I don't too much care for that. But the formula of this is fantastic. It is designed for people who have oily skin, and so it helps to keep my oils at bay. It's lightweight. I don't feel it on the face. This one, I don't notice to change any of the places that I set. It's like truly translucent. So this one for me is definitely a keeper in my makeup collection. Don't know why words just completely like left my brain. Clearly I need more coffee. All right, hopefully that helped get my brain some more words. So yes, this one I'm definitely going to keep. Alongside of that, this Laura Mercier A1 is also one that I am going to keep. Just the formula, like, I understand why this is a holy grail for so many people, and it is absolutely a holy grail for me. I've really enjoyed using this. It creates that blurring effect. It does help to keep my oils at bay, not as long as this one or the Peach Perfect one, but there is some lasting effect that I get from this that I don't get from some of the others. This one also has like a medium deep or a deep dark shade, the Laura Mercier one, but I'm not planning on getting that one because it is too dark. Well, I have it right here. Darker. See, it's too early. It is entirely too early. It is a little bit dark for my skin, so that is why I am not too much planning on like using that, and I think that I should probably declutter it. All right, so now we've got primers. So let me go ahead and get this sorted. All right, so I think I have it where I want it. This one here might be a surprise because I did a declutter video and I was going to throw it out. And then after I got done with that video, I was like, you know what? Let me try it again. Let me see how I really like it. I have not touched it since that video, so it's time for it to go. I'm not going to hold on to it anymore. I don't like it. It does absolutely nothing. I don't feel like it blurred. I don't feel like it held my oils at bay. I felt like it did nothing. It was almost like it felt more like a sunscreen than anything else. And for this price, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing it at all. Oh, my legs are starting to fall asleep. Next up, I've got the It's Okay pile. This e.l.f. one, I bought because of all of the hype. You know, like that it was a good dupe for the Milk Hydro. It is, but it's not as great of a dupe as I thought it was going to be. Like, this is like, I mean, it's definitely like the low budget brother of the Hydro Grip, because it just does not do what I thought it would do. It's super sticky, much more than the Hydro Grip. Sorry to keep comparing it, but that's what it's a dupe for. So it is just, I feel like it's sticky. It's gone past that tacky point to where it's just like sticky, and it can be a little finicky with what you're putting on top of it, at least in my experience. I know like a lot of people really enjoy this, but for me it was okay. Like, I will probably use it in the winter, spring, just so that I can use it up, but I don't know that it's actually one that I plan on repurchasing whatsoever. Also, this Milk, the Eclipse one, this one's okay. I really don't feel like this one is needed. Like, this is one that's like, uh, it's alright. Literally, which is why it's in this pile. It's supposed to be pore minimizing. It's supposed to be mattifying, help keep your oils at bay. I don't really find that it does any of that. I find that it is just like a normal primer. Like, just something I would put on my face like I'm supposed to. Not because it's actually giving me any type of benefit. So for that reason, this one I think really just like needs to go. I don't get excited reaching for it. Like, it's like I have to use it because it's in here. And I don't want to live my life like that. That's the best way to say it. This one here is kind of between the It's Okay and It's Really Good pile. Also, I would say this NARS one is too, because I like it more than I like these over here, but I don't like them as much as I like these over here. So maybe I'm creating a fifth pile. These two here are both ones I don't plan on purchasing again. This one here by Hard Candy has a bit, I'm trying to find a place because I've used up all of that. Almost feels like it has a bit of like that silicone feel to it. And when you have oily skin, silicone and oil together, they make a little bit of a mess. So for me, this one, I have to be really aware of what I'm doing during the day before I put it on. If I've got a long day and I'm planning on being out, I'm not going to reach for this. If I'm just at home, running a couple errands, things like that, then I'll reach for that. But overall, like, I mean, it's okay. It dries down, matte, but it's just kind of breaks up during the day. This one, I was super excited to purchase. Like, this one for me, I was like, yes, I'm going to buy this. I like NARS. But I don't know. It feels like lotion on this one. This one feels a lot like more of a lotion. So it has this richness to it that I was not expecting. It does do well with my foundations, but it's also another one that I have to be aware of what I'm doing throughout the day. Because if I'm planning on going somewhere, I need to make sure that I've got things with me to blot. Luckily, it doesn't have the silicone feel like this one does, so it doesn't dissipate or become a mess on my face like this one can tend to. It's much more calm and cool in that aspect, but it's not one that, again, I get excited for. It's just kind of in my collection, and I'm like, okay, it's cool. It's all right. None of these I really see myself purchasing again when I get done using them if I decide to keep them in my collection. I'm trying to debate if I want to do like a month where I just use the things that I'm decluttering to see if I change my mind on them. Let me know if that's something that you would want to see, like a highlight reel, or if I did change my mind on anything. So yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at with any of my declutter stuff. Those four, I think I can declutter and not regret. These two, I think I would be a little upset about. This is the Catrice, the mattifier. I really enjoy this one. This goes well with every single foundation concealer that I've used. It does mattify, but it doesn't leave my skin feeling or looking dry or without life. Like, it just really is a nice primer. It's lightweight. It has a little bit of a scent, but the scent doesn't stay there very long whatsoever. It is one that does dissipate very quickly, and it has more of like a lotion feel, but it's not as rich as the NARS one by any means. So this one I really, really do like. Mattifies, but it's more of like almost like a satin matte. The Flower Beauty one, I also really like. This one, I mean, these two just perform very similarly, so I would literally say the same things about both of these. However, this one, I don't think I remember it having a scent. Let me double check. Yeah, this one does have a little bit of a scent to it as well that also goes away. I didn't remember it having one, so I wanted to just double check for you. So if you are sensitive to smells, that's one thing that you're going to want to notice about this. It is richer in consistency than this one is, but it still does go away really well. No white cast, any of that on those. So these two I really have been enjoying. And then these are my holy grails. I have gone through a whole bottle, and then I got a mini. I don't remember how. I think it was like a free sample when it placed a Sephora order. So I haven't used that as of yet, because this one is more that I like in the winter and in the spring when my skin is a little bit more on the like normal side. This one for me though is a summertime holy grail. It is the e.l.f. Putty Primer. It does leave a little bit of a white cast on deeper skin, but it's not, I don't notice that it's one where it alters like my makeup. You can see that. Like, I put it right here in the wrist crease. But it doesn't like alter my makeup. The wear of my makeup is still the same. The finish of my makeup is still the same. Like, it just does such a great job of that mattifying effect. I can go longer with this out of all of the primers, I feel like, with a matte base. And it's lightweight, even though it is more of like a cream consistency. Once it's rubbed into the skin, you cannot feel it. This one has more of that tacky base, which is where I think the e.l.f. one just failed. They just took it a step too far, and it does really just feel sticky, where this one has just like that nice gripping quality to it that helps to keep your foundation in place without it feeling like you have, I don't know, a sucker residue on your face, you know? You know how suckers get like sticky if you touch them after you've eaten them and like that kind of thing? Yeah, none of that happening with this. So these two for me are definitely holy grails. I really, really enjoy using these. Every time that I have used them, there's been no issues. They just perform really, really well. So here we are with the things that I am going to keep, and then the things that I'm going to be getting rid of, probably. And I say probably because, like I said, I am considering doing a video where I give it like a last chance, kind of, deal, make sure that I really do not like it before I get rid of it. The Honeymoon shade in Black Radiance, the Maybelline Fit Me, the One Size Deep, and the Laura Mercier Deep, really just because of the shade range. This Flower Beauty one, I know I'm getting rid of because I can't do anything with that. Like, that's not even a question for me. Also, this Tatcha, the Silk Canvas Liquid, I'm getting rid of because that's not doing anything for me. I'm like, no. Hard Candy, the Mattifying Primer, e.l.f. Power Grip, NARS Soft Matte Primer. And it's so strange that I don't like this because I love the foundation. The Soft Matte Foundation is like a holy grail for me. I freaking love that one. So maybe, I don't think I've tried those two together, and maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe this is one, sometimes brands do that. They come out with things that are only good with whatever it is, like the matching foundation or the matching concealer, you know, like those kind of things are meant to be together, and that's just like how they work the best. So I wonder, I may need to keep that and try it with that. And then also the Milk Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer. Those are all the ones that I am planning to get rid of. Alright, so that is going to be everything for today's video. I would love to hear if you've got any different experiences with any of the things that I am mentioning. If something that I consider as a holy grail and you're like, nope, that's absolute garbage, let us know. Like, let all of us know. We want to know all the tea, why you love it, why you hate it, any of that good kind of stuff. I love you guys. May God continue to bless you, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.